visit my friends Tree and Julia, who are in this camp. The whole camp is asleep, and I see them dead asleep over there. And I have to wake them up. I just have to say hi. I hope they're not gonna be mad, but it's impossible to find people here, and I just don't want to miss the opportunity to say hi, so hopefully they don't kill me. Hey YouTube!
Hey YouTube!
If you haven't already been following along, we've been exploring different intentional communities, primarily home basing at the garden, traveling with the Permaculture Mutual Aid Network, and trying to figure out how to live in an ecological dreamscape of love and unity all the time. After we got married in New York this summer, we hit the road and headed west. We gathered with our Rainbow fam for the 50th anniversary, then traveled with the Circus of Purpose through Colorado, then headed up the coast of Cali to start getting ready for Burning Man. It was our first time going to Burning Man. We were able to go with our friend Michael, who was setting up his first year camp, Cutie Pies. Cutie as in QT, as in queer time, as in queer conceptions of time, and also vaguely pie-themed.
It is day one of actual building. Moving beyond designing, we are getting materials and bringing them to the facility.
We're about to go get the wood. Pretty exciting stuff. We only just found it because the van broke down, so thank God.
Oh, the van broke down today.
That's the only way we were able to find it, because we took it to that spot. So.
Thank God the van broke down.
Yeah.
We would have never found that free wood.
We're still building the bar as the first priority. Second priority is finding Tree and Julia a new home.
We spent a month in San Francisco preparing for the burn. We got to build stuff for the camp at a cool tech office.
Once your shower bag is filled up with water, you can hook it on to this loop right here, and then raise the bag above your head.
Shower time.
Then we loaded up 2 15-foot box trucks and headed to the desert. Burning Man was like nothing we ever experienced, but you'll hear us talk about that with Sky. All you have to know now is that we threw a big crazy party the night before the man burned, passed out at 6 a.m., and that's when she found us.
Wow, good morning. Fancy finding you here right behind the bar, huh?
No fucking way. Guys, I was just thinking about how we haven't seen you.
I know. I'm sorry. I had to wake you up. I had to say hi. I love you guys. Yes.
What's the crack?
Oh my God. What are you guys
too.
doing?
Oh, you know, like dreaming.
What were you dreaming about?
Just right there and then.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Don't know. I don't know, actually. I don't remember anymore. I think for some reason it feels like I was dreaming about you. Like it was weird. Like it was like thinking about like people like who I'm just like
And here
like
I am.
who I haven't saw yet.
I
yeah.
know. I had to come see you guys.
We were just talking about it this morning where like we ran into everybody besides Sky.
And here I am.
Last night we threw like this sick, crazy party. It was so good.
Yeah, it went so well.
Yeah,
amazing.
this is our first year camp, and so a lot of people just like came together and really just put on the whole performance. We did like a whole big wig party, and so we had all wigs out at the front, and so like there was like 50-60 people all with wigs on, just like partying in the craziest dust storm we've saw here yet. Which was actually a perfect night to have like a whole house party because, well, every other, you know, it was too rough outside. So
Yeah.
It was like a snow day.
Wait,
Yeah.
is this your first burn?
Yeah, this is our first burn. It's crazy.
Okay, so tell me, what has been the highlight? What has been? I'm catching you. I'm so sorry. I'm doing this to you. But seize the moment.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing today? I mean, we could meet up later too, but I needed to see. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's right now.
You're good. What have we been doing?
Yeah, I think it's just like a whole different type of community. Like it's awesome because it's I'm experiencing like a sense of like awe and amazement at like I don't know, just the entire environment is giving me like a sense of novelty that's been a while since I've experienced. And just like, I don't know, the first night biking out like towards the playa and I'm like next to this art car and just like looking around, you're like, you can't even like believe what your eyes are seeing, and it just like gave me this sense of like euphoria.
No, it literally feels like an alternate dimension.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
And I feel like everything like encourages people to like step into this alternate dimension and like embody something that they want to be. Like the costumes and everything, it's like we're all like creating this alternate universe and then like get to like become anything that we want in that universe.
Damn, that's pretty good for just waking up.
Yeah, you did great. Fucking sick boots. Yeah.
Guys, I brought way too many clothes.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I wore the same things for the 3 days every day.
I'm such an idiot. Like, I spent way too much money on clothes and brought way too many clothes. No, it's so stupid. Like, I don't know why I did that.
I understand completely because that was like always my thing. It was like, I'm going to Burning Man. I need like the sickest outfits ever. I'm like I'm so nervous about like what to wear, and it's all BS. Wear whatever the fuck you want to wear. Like, what does it matter? Like, no one cares. Everyone's out just having a fucking time and wearing whatever they want. Like, there's no like pressure. I don't know why there was.
That's so true. I had all this pressure. Like, I have to like express my avatar in, like, the highest form.
Yeah.
And like, I have to look like all these photos and fuck that shit. Oh my god, this is a waste of my energy.
Really, by the end of the week, I'm just like excited to go out. I'm not even like thinking about it.
Yeah, you don't even want to put on something extravagant because it's such a hassle to pee or do anything. It's like I might as well just wear a t-shirt and sneakers the whole time, you know? But it is fun to express yourself with clothing, with costumes, with jewelry. I think it's beautiful. It's an art form.
Yeah.
Like everything here. Like me making a video, that's my art. You know, there's artists of all forms. There's musicians. There's, you know, creatives of every kind here. And I feel like fashion is an art form, and it's just not my forte.
I don't know. You seem to be doing good.
I'm doing my best. Yeah. Oh my god.
We were pieing people in the face last night with ice cream pie, and I just like
wait, come look at this
shit.
This
is like a bag full of ice cream. Like,
oh my god. You were doing pie faces?
we had like ice cream. It was so ridiculous. It was like serving people at the bar, and then we're like, if you want a drink, you have to get pie to the face. And like 30 people got like ice cream pie, like just like people were so into it. That was like dripping in it.
That sounds wild.
It was like the most, I love like that, like everyone's like embodying that like ridiculousness of each, like, have you noticed that like at different camps and stuff, the theme like of just like,
yes,
I don't know, the less sense you can make, the more it's like part of the experience or whatever. Like anything that goes wrong at the bar, I'm like, well, I guess that's just like part of our shtick now. Like,
totally. Totally. It's like a big improv situation.
Yeah.
Right on.
It's like everybody's just improvising, and that's what it's so fun. It's theatrical. It's been I did like a improv musical clown performance.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
incredible. Like, so you can find stuff like that around every corner. And I think it's just an opportunity. It's just, I'm blown away by how alive I feel.
Yeah.
Just like, wow, I feel energy coursing through me. I feel my body. I feel my soul. Like, I feel fully alive here.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's just because it's so overstimulating with the lights and the partying and this, but I really feel like it's showing me like a way to be that I haven't experienced before.
Yeah, me too, which is so awesome because like you also have like been to tons of different things and whatever, and I kind of like wasn't sure, like I don't know, I didn't know how unique the experience would be until I was actually here in terms of like how it's making me feel and what, you know what I mean. I underestimated the impact it would have on me for sure. I was like, oh yeah, okay, cool, that'd be like a different version of other things I've done, but it's like a whole, I don't know, it really, it's, and the space too, I don't know, something about this setting I feel like contributes so much to the impact also, like I don't even know.
The visual setting for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel the same way. I completely underestimated the scale of this and how otherworldly it actually is. And it's so funny that the last time I saw you guys was at the Rainbow Family Gathering, which is honestly very similar in concept and foundation to this, but a completely different vibe.
Right
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
And it's so fun because like what's inspired us most in life is these rainbow gatherings, and we've been on this whole mission of trying to figure out how can we live like that, how can we live in this free way forever. And now we've came to Burning Man, so now we're like, well, how can we learn to live like we're in Burning Man forever, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I'm curious about that because do you feel like that's possible? Because this is such a difference from the default world, as they say here. Do you think it's possible to live in this state of being at all times?
I think for sure it's possible because, like, I mean, okay, if a lot of factors change, like I feel like the commonality. I was thinking about this, like okay, if you took away like the outfits and you took away like what is really like the uniform thing that's like creating this like sense of euphoria here, and I think it's share culture is a big one, which is at Rainbow also, you know, of just like remove money from the equation, like we just share with each other, we just give, and like doing things just for the sake of like giving to others is like a huge factor, I think. And then but also the emphasis on art here I think also has a really big impact on creating that factor also. So I don't know, someone was just asking me this too. She's like, how, you know, like do you think it's possible to like hold on to this feeling when you go back to the real world? And I've experienced this one like with Rainbow too, trying so hard to stay like, and then like eventually you just feel yourself kind of slip back into like the norm. But
This is hilarious that you just have like
I'm just like covered in
down
ice
your
cream.
arm.
Yeah, I'm just like
Yeah.
stuff right into it.
Yeah, I mean,
But I think it also changes you in a way that carries through, you know?
right. I mean, this probably has been, I would say this is different than everything else that I've tried or attended. This event has been completely different in the level of transformation that I feel that has happened. I think every experience that I have is transformational in some way. But this feels like a massive shift and a big start to a new chapter. And I think someone was telling me, one of the elders here was telling me that the burn of the man is at the start of a new year. It's the Burning Man New Year. And I'm really feeling that fully, like what am I calling in for this next chapter, and how can I use the way of being that I have experienced here and carry that forward. And that's more on like a personal level, but I mean, I'm curious about your opinion since y'all have lived in communes, you've seen building of community and gift economy. In terms of infrastructure, in terms of basic human needs, is this possible to build communities like this long term?
Right on. I think it's definitely possible to make communities like this long term, but I mean we have to start relying on each other again, you know? I think we've went down this long road of individualism, which is beautiful, and I think we should really start to respect our personal autonomy again, but start to understand that like if we all work together and providing each other's needs for free, then we can actually live like this whole of a fucking way of life where we can just give from the deepest part of our heart, just out of love, and then we start feeling that love, you know what I mean? We're not doing it because we don't want to, you know, we're just doing it because we love our neighbors. And then we just become love. It's just this weird, I don't know, it's weird, I don't know, it's not that money is like the problem. I don't know, I think it's simply just being able to rely on each other.
Right. And you know, something you mentioned at the Rainbow Gathering, I remember, is trust. And I feel like we've really lost a sense of trust culturally in a lot of our mainstream society. There's such a distrust of each other. And so I'm curious, how do we bring more trust into our communities, whether it's the Matrix or an off-grid commune? How do we just continue to create trust?
I think the more that you like show examples of trusting people, it like creates a ripple effect too, you know, like that's why I really believe in like hitchhiking or whatever, because it's like I trust you, you trust me, and you like bring a little bit more trust into the world, you know. And also environments like this of like, oh, you just change the rules and all of a sudden like the culture here is to trust people, so now I trust people and wow, everything's working out, you know. And it's like just starts by, I think, like you like showing an example of trusting other people, and then they trust you back, and like bringing that in and like it rippling you know.
Yeah, it's so funny that you say that, because I don't know, that's the trust is the one thing I've learned from like traveling for so long, is that like that's like the key element to life, I think. Once I started just like trusting in the way of the universe, or the way of the flow and how everything was going, it was I jumped right in, and I was able to live like this, you know.
What has been the biggest challenge being here?
Well, biggest challenge here? Fuck, it took me 5 days to go to the toilet. I don't know, I held that one in.
Yeah, I find the porta potties worse than Rainbow, personally.
Yeah, I like shitting in the ground. I like doing it.
No, honestly,
No,
it's I can't. The thing about the porta potty is that's where you cannot have any outfits that don't accommodate.
Yeah,
Because when in an emergency situation, it's not good to be going in there trying to figure out all these straps. I've had to maneuver some things, and it's been like Twister in there. So.
No, it's like this whole thing is challenging. Like actually, like existing as a human, like here, you know, like we can't pee anywhere. Like everything that we do is challenging to this environment. So just like trying to make sure that we tread lightly is definitely the big challenge.
Yeah, I mean, do you think that it's challenging for us because we're so conditioned to comfort, or is it challenging because it's legitimately challenging objectively, the heat and the, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I think, yeah, it's challenging because it's like just naturally not an environment that we would usually be in. So there's that element to it as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's like over 100 degrees. It's dry. Like this wouldn't be somewhere that you would like build a community.
At me, and I have not burned. I am ginger, and I'm not burnt. The power is real. Believe it, everybody. Just because you're ginger doesn't mean you have to burn. Believe in it, you know. Don't worry.
Okay, so question: what was your strategy? Were you sunscreening, or was this a
you know?
contract
I sunscreen a little bit, but you know, I used to burn like all the fucking time. But then once upon a time, I had this one grand thought. Was like, fuck being a Burning Man, you know what I mean? I'm no longer a Burning Man. I'm going to no longer burn. And then I stopped. And look at me.
So you just decided, I'm not gonna burn anymore.
I trusted. No, I really did. Like, I learned how to trust while traveling, and I learned the power of trust, and I started to trust in my own body and not burning, and I stopped burning.
You know what's fascinating about this is I can't speak to the science of this, but I believe in the placebo. I believe in the power of the mind 1,000%. Our mind is so powerful. I've also heard somebody say they did a contract with the sun so they wouldn't burn anymore. I'm like, this is hilarious. Like, talking to the sun, be like, yo, hey, don't fuck me anymore.
Right? Like,
Are we good? Are we good? Let's make a deal.
Because I think if you have like a really strong connection in that moment to the sun, like you may be under the influence of something or not, but like you are having that strong experience and it's real to you, you know, and so it's everlasting.
Yeah. Can you speak to, you know, the psychedelic culture, the culture of medicine here? Like, what have you witnessed, and what's your perspective on that? Because I mean, like, it's all
Yeah,
it's
gotta
all
be
happening.
careful with this
No,
one.
and I don't even know if I'm gonna use this. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, I've been thinking too, but it's like a reality. You know what I mean? So, but I may like steer away. You know, but just if you have any
Yeah.
gingerly.
I know.
plans or
I'd have to
words.
think how to phrase
Yeah.
it. You know, it's really crazy. Here, even though I have experienced so much trust in people, at the same time I've experienced a lot of fear and a lot of anxiety about cops being undercover. You know, I was told a story that the police pretended to be a rape victim and ran to a camp screaming that they were raped, like in suffering for hours in pain, like, and they were helping her recover and healing, and then they just gave her a beer without IDing her, you know, after a few hours of her being there, and then all of a sudden, ding, 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 the police are here. They raided the whole camp.
Oh my gosh, was this year?
Not this year, but like this is what they do.
Well,
you know?
I've heard stories too. I mean, people I know have told me. I was talking to undercover cops, and it's very much from what I've heard. I don't have the experience, but from what I've heard from people who have been coming for a while, they will go to the craziest lengths to bust people, and that is like, is that even ethical practice?
Yeah.
Of
To like
law
manipulate you
enforcement?
into, yeah.
I mean, they were wanting to help someone, and that's the culture here, and so that just feels really weird.
Well, that's how you stop the culture from growing. Like this right here is an epicenter of a movement. Things like this, like Rainbow, but the way to stop it is just bring in that fear. Just bring it in any way you can. And that's one of the issues with these kind of counterculture movements, is that because it's so heavily involved with drugs, the police have such an easy way to stop it. You know, and we need to create alternative things like this that let the culture grow but don't involve drugs. And I think personally,
Yeah.
the cops just make an easy job at destroying it.
And
Like, because what it's destroying is just that feeling in our hearts that we can trust other humans and we can live like this and we can be free and we can go out and we can give, you know, and we can receive.
So, I had a thought on that because, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, you know, you all were at the Rainbow, and I feel like a lot of this summer I've been experiencing almost like, I always have wished that I lived in the era of the late 60s to 70s. I've always been obsessed with that time period in history because of what was happening in culture and just the complete revolution and upheaval and wildness that was happening, which I feel like we are still experiencing that now. Like, the same shit is happening. Like, there's this movement that's been building and growing, and maybe it fell away and now it's being revived, and history is literally just happening in cycles. And I feel like I am experiencing that time in history, really. A place I've always wanted to go, I am experiencing it now, really, just with new technology. But the same human stuff happening it's always repeating.
Yeah, I feel like that era was kind of like sold to us as like, this happened and it's over, and like that's the story, you know, and like but it's like, it's more of like a evolution of like the collective human consciousness of like what we want and what we're pushing towards. And I don't think it's like really, I think a lot of people like bought that story and kind of gave up on fighting for it because they were like sold this story that it's over. But I think also there's tons of people that haven't given up, and then many more people that maybe if they're not fighting for it, they're still like they want it, you know, they want that kind of like unity and like that, like all the world that we could live in if, outside of like the kind of like competitive environment that we've been shown, you know.
Damn. Guys. What I mean, there are no words. Yeah, I know, right?
You're beautiful.
Just like sitting behind our dirty
I
bar.
literally tried to wake you up gently, like with your feet. I was just like, like tickling your feet. It was so funny. Oh my god, it's gonna be hilarious.
So you knew our camp, and so you're like, oh, let me go see if they're there. And then
Yeah, I was like, I need to go see if Tree and Julie are around. I want to see them. And then I'm looking around and I'm like, fuck, like they're sleeping. Am I either gonna have to wake them up or like I just don't see you? And I'm like, I'm waking them up.
That's great. Yeah, I think we literally only just went to bed. So
Oh my god, well,
perfect.
hopefully you can go back to sleep.
No, I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know.
It's the day of the burn, so
yeah,
Yeah.
my body's just like going. I don't even know what it's doing. I'm like,
I know.
amazed at what it's pulling off right now. Like,
Same. My body is so confused, and I'm realizing how adaptable humans are.
yeah.
I'm like, whoa. Like my body can handle a lot. Like I'm putting it through a lot right now. The sleep deprivation. Holy crap! Like I haven't not gotten this little sleep since college. Since I was like editing all night, you know. Yeah. So
Edited all that. That's
yeah,
cute.
seriously. And partying.
Yeah.
A lot of partying. There's double whammy there.
That's cool.
Yeah. Okay,
Oh my
so
gosh. Yeah.
I'm curious about your thoughts on. I just like I wanted to touch on this, and then we can you guys go back to bed. But the man, the burning man. Yo, there's an entity coming through that thing.
I can't wait to see it. Like, I can't believe it's gonna burn. Like, I feel like I'm not even gonna be able to like believe my eyes, because it's like this pillar all week that you're like, there he is, and it's just like holding the space of like everything. It's just like, yeah, and going inside of it too. I feel like I felt like this, like, I don't know, yeah, like so much intention put into it. You can like feel it as soon as you like step underneath. You're like, oh shit.
It feels
Right.
like there's something being channeled through it.
Yo, even within the art, you can see it. Like it's intentional. What's being created in there. I think the levels of art. It seems like they're rising to something and they're going towards.
Yeah.
They're going up. I don't know to what. But
Yo, it's weird because we think about ancient civilizations and how they built things. How we're like amazed at how they built the pyramids or how they built, and like look around and like what's being built here, and it's like, whoa, we're like building some cool stuff too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Not me, but like other humans.
Yeah,
you
no,
know?
for sure. Yeah,
I mean,
it's
I guess
crazy.
we're all building it, but like, yeah, it's continue.
Especially these fucking art cars. Like, what the heck? Who knew a stage could just drive around and be a fucking party? Like, what the fucking kind of crazy Mad Max place are we in right now? You know, like, it's like, it's the best party ever, because it's like everyone is being the hottest shit, you know? You know, everyone's like, I am sex, I am a god, but then at the same time, they're like, everyone can be a god, you know, and we all can be gods together. It's so inclusive. Yeah, that's fucking.
Oh my god!
It's so good. It's so good, right?
What the fuck
It's
did
so
you
good.
just throw a little piece of paper? That was
know.
great. Oh my god, confetti finish. No, seriously, like it's exactly. Everybody's like, I am me. I am me. Take it or leave it. And then it's a level of acceptance of whoever you are. Be that fully 100,000%. Do it. And this is a space that completely supports that.
Yeah.
It's been like, for self-expression, just mind-blowing, and I want to bring that level of confidence and self-expression into, you know, the real world, the default matrix world.
And we need like all different versions of this, you know, like this culture, you know, it's gift economy, stuff like this. It's like rainbow, but the thing is, you know, the average wage of the average burner is over $100,000. You know, this is a very exclusive event. I wanted to be here for 6 years, and I've been part of the movement and culture for 6 years, and I haven't been able to come here because I wasn't able to afford it, you know. So I think, not to say that it has to change, but that's why we need multiple examples and ways to jump into this, you know. So that's why things like Rainbow need to exist, and that's why we need to create more things, you know. Like, what's next? Like, this Rainbow is from the 70s, this is from like the 80s or 90s. What the fuck are we doing today? Like, I know we can do this, but like, what else can we do, you know? Can we create something new?
I think we can. I think we can.
Yeah, I think that's what we want to do.
Yeah. What do you want to create?
I guess me personally is this permanently, you know. But like, I think I would like to have this culture, but like with a little bit more of some sort of like permaculture element to it, you know. That's kind of like, I think where my life path is going. I think I know how to party, you know. Everyone knows how to party, but I think people could learn how to party and grow food at the same time. Maybe, I don't know. It's gonna be my attempt, because like what are the key elements to be able to do this fully, you know? All it is, it's sovereignty. That's what we need, you know. We need to be able to make our own decisions and come together and decide how we want to live, you know. And to do that, we need to be able to feed ourselves, ungreed ourselves, and, you know, live and burn like man, you know. Like,
And what's been your take on here? Y'all have been living in this community that is sustainable. You're doing permaculture, you're growing your own food, you're reducing waste. What's your experience here of the waste situation and the sustainability of something like this?
Yeah, getting ready for it and seeing how much like Amazon purchases and all these things that needed to happen in order for us to just like survive out here. I kind of had like this, like, I don't know, it was like a little bit of like a negative outlook. But now that, like, I don't know, but now that I'm actually here, I'm like, again, like I was saying, like blown away by like, you know, what all that was able to create for me, which I think is so worth it. I mean, there's so much like mindless consumption in this world regardless. So it's beautiful that, you know, we're still doing it, but we are able to create something that, you know, has a super deep meaning to a ton of people. So, you know, I'm definitely happy it happens, you know.
Right.
But I think it could happen in more sustainable ways too, you know. But I think also it's a different demographic, you know, like people who go to Rainbow like don't have much, so they just have to like be resourceful, and like the different demographic of people who come here is like have a lot of things at their fingertips, and they're going into a place where they know they're going to need a lot of stuff, so they're just like, you know, buying is a way of protecting, like making sure you have all your needs met.
But at the same time, like these people who have a lot of resources, like this is an amazing environment where they're experienced like being able to provide for others, and create a fostering community through that, you know. And that's really sick. Like there's CEOs everywhere here that are having life-changing experiences that is going to make a triple effect for the whole world.
Yes, totally.
Absolutely.
Totally.
Yeah, I was shocked at the amount of money that I spent.
Yeah, same.
I underestimated.
Yeah.
I knew I would need a lot of things. I didn't know how much things I would be buying.
Yeah.
And it made me pretty uncomfortable, to be honest. Like, and I realized I could have done it now, having experienced this. I'm realizing now I could have done this in a completely different way. Like, I didn't need a lot of the things that I got, but there were things I absolutely did need. So just knowing what is essential, and then what to let go of. But yeah, I mean, to your point, I think that this is a certain demographic because of the barrier to entry. But that doesn't mean that doesn't equal wrong or bad. Like this, to your point, there are people here with extreme wealth that are going to be awakened through the experience and be able to your point, just create that impact in whatever fields they're in. So anyways, is there anything else we want to cover before we wrap this little...
I love you, Sky.
I love you
Yes.
guys. Wait, what did you think of the rainbow video? I'm so curious. You can be honest with me, you know.
I was a bit sad. But it was not like a great I mean, like, it's hard to like
Yeah, I want you to go to, like, a different
it's
rainbow
hard
now,
it's hard
like,
as a
at once.
journalist to like go to like a rainbow, I think, and like be like, okay, I'm gonna make like a video, and like, and that rainbow, like, you're going in for like 4 or 5 days or something like this, and then it's really hard to feel it, you know.
Yeah.
Like, for me, it took me 3 weeks to really realize what rainbow was and how to
Right.
you know, before I got it, you know. It takes time, and it takes letting go of like what you're doing, you know, and
Right.
who you are in your normal life. And if you're going there with an intention of working like we did,
Yeah, we did also.
you will mess up the experience, because that's what our
Yeah.
experience was not great either, because we went there with an intention of working, you know, which was great, so we could provide for people, and you could provide people with these great videos, but you know, you lose something in that.
It definitely changes the experience. I mean, yeah, for me, like, I definitely feel like the rainbow is such a nuanced thing. Like, it was challenging for me to make decisions about that video.
Yeah.
Like, what do I share so I can be honest? And then how do I frame this story in a way that will be inspiring and impactful and authentic and honest about the experience that I had, you know? And I think that it is a beautiful event that's necessary for a lot of people. Like, you know, can I tell you something? Just a little last thing. Have you seen, I took this part out of the video, I almost used a clip from that video. Like, I almost put this in the video. I was putting together like news clips and like what people were saying about the Rainbow Gathering, and like, you know, I think you guys saw the video, so that little part in the beginning to describe it. And Diplo was on David Dobrik's podcast, and he had said on the podcast, I used to go to these things called Rainbow Family Gatherings, and it's kind of like Burning Man for homeless people. Is how he described it.
Yeah.
It's
And
true.
I'm like, that's like actually very accurate.
Yeah.
And I used that clip, and then I decided to take it out because I just felt like, is this insensitive to homeless people? I couldn't like, it wasn't feeling like 100% aligned for me to include it. But I think that it is kind of an accurate, honest description.
It really is. It's completely honest. Like, I mean, I've been homeless for like 6 years out of choice, but I have been homeless for 6 years, and all my friends who I know from Rainbow are mostly homeless, but by choice, you know. And it's not that we're homeless, we're just houseless. We have a home, and that family and that space and that land, that's our home. You know, these forests, that's our home. It's all in here, you know. And that's what we're out living, you know, and experiencing. This is a spiritual, conscious awakening and a way of life.
Yeah, I experienced a lot of people at Rainbow, like, by choice, they did not want to live with money, a lot of money. They wanted to live in this gift. Like, you're consciously deciding this is the way of life for me. And I noticed that there were people that would go that like genuinely needed to be fed. It felt like there was a percentage of people there who were in that category. And that's why that event is, I think, very powerful for people to feel inclusion and being taken care of when you're going through a hard thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's really like what the takeaway was, despite all the other stuff. So anyways, I love you guys so much. I mean, it's so fun. I just can't wait to keep co-creating. Like, there's so much magic to be had. There's so much storytelling to continue. It's only gonna get better, more exciting. Like, I'm just so grateful we got to do this and drop in.
Yeah, I'm so glad you came and found us.
I know. So what are you doing for the burn? Get in here. Oh. Yay.
What are we doing after the burn, you say?
What are you doing for the burn? You're gonna watch it, or you're gonna be
Oh,
in
during the
Siberia?
burn? I have no idea. I have, you know, fuck your burn, you know, like, I've made no plan, you know.
What does that mean to you, fuck your burn?
I think, yeah, that's where it's like, fuck your plan, you know, fuck your burn.
Yes.
Just, it's gonna, fuck it.
It is what it is. Whatever it is, it's getting fucked.
Yeah.
All right, guys. This is incredible.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's like
the dream, you guys are so good, like so well spoken. It's your dream state, like made you even more like, you know?
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. I should do this.
1, 2, 3, go.
Yeah.
I feel like we're in a
Every
fucking
interview,
dream.
I'll just
Yeah,
wake
yeah.
up and yeah.
We're in a dream.